Austin. Oh yeah. Oh
Hi,
okay.
I'm not
Max.
Now
gonna
now they
lie,
can hear you guys.
amazing.
Oh, now they can hear us. I've been saying
I'm
hi this whole time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't end up writing like a postmortem document or like talking points for myself, so this is all just gonna come straight from the heart.
Yeah, I have like a document up to write down ideas as they come up, I guess. But yeah, I have some stuff in my head too. So where do you
That's
want to
probably a good thing
start?
to have as well. Uh, I don't know. Where do we want to start?
Like, mm,
Anyone?
I guess what do you
How?
think went well?
yeah,
Let's
that's
start
probably a good
there.
place to.
I think collaboration and like communication among the team was pretty good. I will say in that regard, I can't like I don't know if any of us other than maybe McKenna can speak on the art department's behalf. They were kind of like their own like separate team. Um but I think communication otherwise, like overall communication was pretty good, which is a fairly good sign. I'd say that's otherwise that's like one of the main things that kills a game or like kills a game idea very fast is if the team can't communicate well. So I think that was good. I think that went pretty well.
I would agree. I think the with on design and programming, I really like the regular meetings that we had, even outside the scheduled ones, and
Yeah.
even just when we would communicate in the server about stuff as we were working on it. Um, I thought that was good as well.
hmm
The
If any of you disagree, by the way, feel free to say.
I,
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
I
hmm.
agree with the like communication because also people saying when they were like ready to leave, like I think was good as well. Like, so we knew who to expect for meet, and also saying when people were gonna be there for meetings or not.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I feel like that was pretty well communicated.
Incredible.
uh,
Did
hey,
anything else go well? Or is this
I
it?
think I think we got a good amount done for the time that we had. Like,
Mhm.
And for the time period we were doing it in.
Yeah,
yeah. And like for summer, with how busy people are during the summer, we did good. We did really good with what we
no, I
had.
agree. I
I
agree.
wasn't even like supremely busy. I just like had almost no motivation towards the end. Whoops.
And that's
That
fair.
makes
That
sense.
happens.
I mean, that kind of happened with me as well. I was so close to getting exactly one animation done, and I still didn't fully get that finished.
Yeah. I think that was kind of it for me as well, where I just kind of I lost steam on it. I lost steam on it, like being able to juggle this with like other projects and whatnot. And I also just realized at some point of the way through, I also just realized I wasn't really like vibing with the game as much, at least on a gameplay side. Like I realized
I also felt this way.
okay, so that's not just me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just I felt like I was like I don't really see where this is going or like what this is going for. Like I'm not fully seeing like what kind of experience this is trying to deliver, at least on a gameplay side. On the art side, I could absolutely see the vision.
Yeah.
Um Even if not like for like having minimal player art and minimal like other art. Like the concept art that was there and the ideas that were tossed around those first few meetings by the artists and like even the bits of like lore that Nat like was like sort of writing up. Like I could definitely see the vision on that side, but for the gameplay, it felt a little off for me. It felt a little like I just wasn't vibing with it, and I didn't get the kind of gameplay that we were going for still. So I mean, there's that. That can be something we talk about in the kind of the cons section. Didn't mean to
Mhm.
bleed through into other topics. That's my bad. But yeah, I think it was good that people felt comfortable enough to say when they like not even just when they like couldn't work on the project anymore, but like people felt comfortable enough when they like couldn't handle like a certain amount of tasks or a certain task on their task list for whatever reason. They were like, hey, like I don't know if I can do this. Again, that's more on the communication side. People felt very comfortable. So that's good. How was stuff on the art side while we're still on that sort of topic, just for info, because how was stuff on like the art side for that McKenna?
I think we did pretty good. Like, I think
Mhm.
when people had questions, they got answered and stuff like that. I'd like so I think it went pretty well.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I also think we did a good amount on the game with the time that we had.
so it's probably. I'll write down the gameplay, um, like people that vibe with the gameplay, vision or
Yeah,
yeah.
which I have a theory as to why that is, but I'll leave that for later. It's sort of part of a different point entirely.
I guess one thing this kind of goes along with the communication, but I
Mhm.
think we did a good job of setting up structures for stuff. I think it fell apart. It fell apart when it came to like maintaining some of the structures, but like by this I mean like the meeting notes, the programmer documentation, the week like starting
Mm,
off with weekly meetings was good. Um, the the documentation at the beginning was pretty strong for everything. And that was useful
yeah,
for that was pretty useful for working on the project. Um, I think.
I do agree about the maintaining the structure part though, because I definitely felt like towards the end I was like like even just for things like the levels list, I was like I don't know what document to check for this because there's like 3 or 4 that have it, but I can't remember which one has the most recent updated one. So I think we could probably learn from that going forward and just make sure kind of like keep updating our documents and probably putting more stuff under like one broader document like instead of like I can't pull them up right now, but I
But
feel like a lot of stuff like the levels list and whatnot, there was like 3 different documents pertaining to just like gameplay design in general. And I feel like that could have just been one document with 3 different document tabs, and that way you can just keep the levels list as its own tab. Um, I think like going forward into 365, when we do want to keep like documenting stuff, we should probably like when we're kind of changing or updating information instead of like kind of by default opening up like a new document or like just keeping it in notes and not moving it um and updating the old documents, we should just kind of have the same documents open and keep updating them so that we don't we avoid the clutter and like duplication and whatnot.
I yeah, I agree with that, and I have SigGD's master document pulled up here, and it's basically just like one document with a bunch of tabs, like you were saying. Is this
Mhm.
stream showing my whole screen?
It says
Um,
stream paused.
Okay.
because you minimized your application.
But yeah, let's just do this. So yeah, like this is what the SIGGD document looks like, and it has
Mhm.
um like a glossary basically, and then not glossary, like table of contents.
I
Actually,
see.
these are yeah, and then you have all the tabs on the side, and I think these link to each section. Yeah.
I see. Ooh, very Rain World looking.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I,
I
I feel
think
like I feel like this is a way better way. Because I think what led a lot of times to us having like so many documents that basically all said the same thing, but only one of them would have like the latest version was just like having meeting notes for each thing, but a lot of times like after a while we started just keeping things in the meeting notes
mhm,
and like not moving them out, and by the time it was time to move them into the actual thing it would be outdated again, and so we just make like a whole new doc for the thing entirely, and it just became a whole mess. I think meeting notes, I think in 365, depending on like how the room is that we have, I don't know, we could do the thing that I saw a lot of people in 255 doing, which was like have your meeting notes just on the whiteboard and like take a picture of those and just like send it in your like Discord or chat or like whatever you're using to communicate with your team at the end of every meeting. To just be like, okay, like here's the main points, and then have your documents just be like a separate thing entirely. So that's just a potential solution.
I definitely think having in-person meetings is different than having fully
Oh,
online
for sure.
meetings.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Does Discord, in case we ever do have to do like an online meeting, does Discord have like a whiteboard
Yeah, I think so.
thing? Okay,
Yeah.
that could potentially be used similarly. But yeah, that's definitely more of an in-person thing. I'm just kind of taking that as like a learning point from this. Because yeah, it's definitely one of the things that I think started kind of leading to people just not checking the documents as often.
yeah.
Either
The
that
The
or
documents, if I remember them correctly, they seem to be laid out fairly strangely as well. Because there's like game
how so?
document, master game document, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah,
mhm.
that's what I mean. When I was like, there's like three different documents like pertaining to like gameplay design, and they're just named
General
slightly differently.
overview.
Yeah, there's like general overview, game
I think
document, main document, and it's
general
like,
I think general overview was my attempt to like consolidate everything into one document,
hmm.
Hmm.
and
See
and that
that?
didn't really end up working.
I
I
mean, see
think what we
that
could do
that's the
is
thing
having
though.
one document with a bunch of tabs, like
Yeah,
the SIGGD thing.
yeah, exactly, exactly. 'Cause that's the thing. Like your document that basically just tried to like give an overview of everything. Like that's fine. What we should have done is we should have stuck to that document and kept updating it rather than just making five more every time there was new information added.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like meeting notes we could have just added instead of like having direct meeting notes or instead of having multiple people working on meeting notes, we could have one person updating like the actual game doc and another person taking notes for the exact meeting. Because sometimes you like
Yeah.
discuss things that don't need to go on the game doc itself. And it's good to have a record of like what happened in each individual meeting.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
like it's also good to have a consolidation of everything and like if people aren't going to go back and do it, then maybe that should be a part of the meeting as well.
Yeah. And I think, there will be a role in when we do this in 365 to do that we didn't have here.
That was another
Mhm.
thing. That was one of the
Yeah,
big
that
things.
connects to my other point. So I'm gonna try and stay on topic here. I don't want to go on a tangent. But yeah, meeting notes and whatnot, and differentiating that and like game docs. I agree with Henry. It's gonna be way easier, and different, doing that in person. Um, I think the main thing is just to also remember, like, don't just like whenever there's new information or information that contradicts something we said previously for the game, don't just make like a new doc and just leave the old one sitting there. Don't make it like 5 new docs covering the same thing. Just have a game overview doc and keep updating from there. Have a gameplay design doc and just use the organizational tab system and just keep updating from there. You know, if the combat system needs a whole different in-depth doc of itself, that's fine. You can have like a slight overview of it in like the main gameplay design doc, and then have it link to that other document in its tab, you know.
Honestly, I think we could. It might be a little clunky, but we could just try having everything in one doc because you can make tabs and subtabs and so much stuff like that that you don't even necessarily
Like,
need to make
this is all
a whole other
hypothetical.
document.
That's another thing is we should, and I think this is also what Justin was kind of initially saying is we need to like decide on an organizational structure, kind of
Yeah.
like that kind of like at the start we all need to decide how we actually want to organize things. Not that we didn't try to do that, we had that somewhat, and we had it at a basic level, but little preferences like that also need to be taken into account if everyone's going to be documenting stuff.
I think I like I think most likely what we want to do in 365 is first thing off the bat decide how we're going to organize everything. Like not just documentation, but like how decisions are made and everything like that. Just
Yeah.
right off the bat, like how that works, how we're going to work, and then we can actually start working on ideas. I think we were a little bit
I agree.
ideas first, or like how to do it later, kinda. And
Yeah.
we should have started with a little bit more exactly are we going to do this, and then went into ideas. Because I feel
think
like if we started like that way
sorry,
around, we
go
would have.
ahead.
Sorry.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Your voice broke on my end, so I thought it was just like you're finished. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. But I think if we'd gone that way around, we also would have been more likely to like make it into like pick something that we could finish a little like or more get a little bit more finished or something like that.
100% agree. But yeah, we kind of we chose.
I have two questions.
Sorry,
Please.
wait, say again.
I have two questions for the group.
Oh, sorry, yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
Question one. Actually, I don't know which question to ask first. Okay, question one. Are we considering continuing this game for 365?
No.
I don't.
Personally, I'd say
Okay.
no.
Okay.
That's just me.
Sorry. I was a little bit fast. No. I
Second
wouldn't.
question. Are we considering picking up anyone else besides us six?
Definitely Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of mad at myself for not remembering to do this, but I wanted to invite him onto the project. Because I was like, yeah, he probably
That would have
will.
been fun.
He probably will want to be part. He probably like.
Yeah.
He probably. I just like. I predict that he will want to like join us if he sees like all of us together. So I should have
Phelan
asked
just laid us
him.
all off.
Also Angel probably. I don't know like what other connections Angel has in like in people that are going to be in 365, but like he and Austin are close. He knows us.
The only other people I've met have like already taken 365.
I'm also just saying, like, even beyond the people we already know, like some poor sap who doesn't have a group Like, are we considering
Oh yeah, I mean,
picking them up?
Yeah,
take as
why
many
not?
random,
Why
like
not?
as many people as we
Because
can.
We
we also
can-
need to like also limit ourselves because we shouldn't have
Yeah,
too many
can't have too many
people.
Yeah,
cooks.
that's what I was gonna say. Is like if we're gonna have a bunch of people, I think we should have an idea of how we're going to manage a bunch of people before we even
Right.
start considering that.
Yeah,
So-
because I feel like
which
don't
I
know.
think the amount of people per role also need to be considered in that regard.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I
more
think
of like a when we get there kind of
Because we're
thing.
gonna be making groups on the first day.
Yeah,
Like,
That's right.
like I do think it's a good idea to think about it a little bit. I don't like I don't think we need to like I don't think we should figure it out right now, but I think it's a
Sure.
good idea to have it like
I mean, I don't think we
Oh
really
shit,
know who else is in that class right now, other
Aslan.
than
that
like
is true.
Ian and whatnot.
I
Aslan.
wonder if
Yeah.
Connor's gonna be. I don't know.
Is Aslan in there?
Aslan. I mean, like it's most game devs through. Henry, how many seniors
Oh,
were
okay.
taking 365?
A lot.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
like for the first time, I mean,
A
is it
lot.
still a lot?
I
Okay,
think.
never mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's very
technically
much a
you're.
senior class. Yeah, you're technically a senior.
I mean, half of
I
my
am,
team
yeah.
graduated. So
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
know
why.
Ayush and sorry.
No. You go ahead. You go ahead.
I know Ayush and Simon are probably going to be a team in some team together.
Oh, okay.
That was kind
Do
of
you
my
know
backup
Connor?
plan if this didn't work out. But,
My backup
no,
plan
was that
was
the?
literally to go around and chat. I was gonna be that poor sap. 'Cause every other person I've known, like, and made a connection with, is for some reason a grad student.
Oof.
I'm just unk all around, bro. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me.
Um, I think I remember Connor.
Connor was on my 255 team.
Oh, was he on
I don't know how many of them
365?
you guys met.
I know Connor vaguely.
Never
He wasn't
mind
in as
then.
many as he wasn't in as many as he wasn't in as many of my classes as he was your
Mhm.
guys' like classes, I think.
Oh, I might
Like
have
when
been
I
in 215 with you guys.
don't know. I mostly remember seeing Connor, like a lot of the people that you know, I've mostly seen them when I've crashed your guys' like labs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people I know are like in my sessions or like mine and Max's sessions. And for some reason, they're just all either seniors or grad students, bro. No one I know is taking 365.
I'm
Most
so
of the
sad.
people
I
I
enjoy
Francesca?
Shisha.
I know. Yeah, that was my backup plan. I was gonna be the poor sap, Henry.
Wait,
It's
Shayshiv.
okay. We've got each other.
Thank you, Henry.
Shayshiv, what about
What a long-
Francesca?
She's not taking 365.
Is she not in game dev anymore?
She's in game dev, but she's like a grad student transfer. It's like a whole she's got like a whole situation going on with the
Oh,
like academic side of things.
never mind.
Yeah. Well, it's not as complicated as I remember it. I just like haven't met anyone who's had to like go through all the like transfer shit, and so like her credits are all fucked up and whatnot. And so it just sounded complicated hearing it, but it's probably not as complicated if she were to like say it to you. But no, I don't think she's taken 365. I think she already took that one. I can double
Oh,
check.
okay.
I was pretty firm on that.
That's interesting. That
now I'm just second guessing myself on everything.
I feel like that's an interesting thing, like from a course perspective, to like put someone in 365 before 260. I mean, before 265. But
That's true. Wait, let me check.
I don't
I'm
know.
looking through the text right now. We did share schedules at some point. Maybe I just like skimmed over it. Oh my god, what is 365's actual name? Her schedule's like actual names. I know.
I don't know. I like
indeed.
It's
numbers.
it's on a practicum.
Is it game development practicum? Is it that one?
That's what
Your voice is breaking, but I'm assuming you said yes, Shesha.
yeah.
I
Yes,
love
that's
you,
365.
Did you say I love you,
Sheshev, you're
Shesha?
my favorite. You're my favorite little boy.
Oh, I love being called someone's favorite little boy. Reminds me of the good old days. That's not
Hmm.
funny. That's not funny. That's not okay.
Um,
Register for classes. No, not register. If you look at the CRF, you don't get the names, I don't think. You registration.
No
I
one
think
has the names on there, I'm pretty sure.
McKenna, I don't want to have to click on them. It's so much work. Just view
L.
registration information, bro.
Oh no, wait, I think the time for the class changed. It might be in my email. 1 second.
The time changed a while ago. I got a time change for a different class. I no longer have no classes on Monday. Sadness. I have one class on Monday now.
Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
It's fall 2026, right? I'm not
Darn it.
stupid. We're doing fall 2026. Guys.
I
Okay,
will say
yes.
this might be
Yeah,
the slightest bit of a tangent, but
it is
I
game
think
dev
that's fine.
practicum. Okay. Francesca also, like, if she doesn't have a group, she is also potentially here. So that's also a potential recruit. I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. That's gonna be hard to predict. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Um.
shall see. Okay. Yeah, that was a slight tangent, but yeah. And I think it's
I
not
th-
too bad to try and like predict like who potentially could be part of our group. Um
what? Would you guys consider a lot of people, or like a concerning amount of people for the group to have?
honestly,
I thought it was gonna be. It would be really funny if the whole team, the whole class, decided to be in one group.
I think that would be absolutely horrendous
yeah, I think that
to
would be
manage. I'm
horrendous. It would be
sorry. It would
hilarious
be
though.
That's
funny,
just
but
SIGGD.
Bro, imagine P3, bro. Like everyone walks up on just the whole class, the whole session.
can you
Just
imagine trying to
walks
fit
up.
everybody into one movie
Oh,
theater?
dude, it's okay. We'll carry people if we need to. Someone that's
So Sheshev,
yeah.
when we
That's.
go up for
I
P3
guess.
with our awesome game, you're gonna do all the talking, right?
I could if you want to. I'm trying to
It's
get
not gonna be
over.
me.
I'm
I
not
want
gonna
to
do
say
that.
some shit.
Alright.
Austin
Okay,
will as
alright.
well, I guarantee. But
Oh yeah, for sure. We
um,
should go down like a string of people. Like he says the first word, you say the second word, I say the third word, and we just.
Oh my god, that sounds miserable.
Do you think they'd kick us out?
Probably.
You'd have to tell them beforehand because they do a run through of it before you were there. I don't know why I'm telling you this.
Yeah, no, I was joking.
um,
I wish there, kiddo. I wish there.
so
Okay, moving on.
I guess number of people that would be concerning for the group to have, like too big.
More than anything, more than 10.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as
Yeah,
well. I
More
even
feel
than
like
10
10.
is kind of
10 would be
I
kind of
was
hard.
Yeah, 10 is
surprised. Yeah.
10 is pushing it as well.
okay. It depends though. If like 4 or 5 of those are programmers, bro, you're set. You're absolutely fucking set. Dude,
I don't
we
know.
had
That sounds like a lot of arguing.
oh really? Oh, never mind. It went fine with our we had like 11 people at some point in our 255 after like 2 teams got cut, and it was like I think 4 programmers and then like no, it was more than 11. We had a lot at some point. It was actually a nightmare to manage. Um but on the workload side, 4 programmers and like 3 artists. I don't think we would have gotten that game done otherwise.
My ideal
Wow.
team makeup is like 3 programmers and then as many artists as you can cram in.
No, that's good. Artists you genuinely like as many as you can is great. Yeah, programming
Because like
I will
they don't
I
really need to collaborate real time on stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, I think they can end up splitting off on their own more so like later on. At the beginning, they really do have to like stick together to make sure everyone kind of matches each other's styles or like blend each
Yeah,
other's styles together. But yeah, anyway, sorry, besides the point. Yeah, I'd say 10 people is like when
is pushing it.
kind of we're kind of reaching a lot, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So with 4 people here, Austin and Max at 6. I guess that 4 more people until it becomes out of hand.
I also think it's worth mentioning that like outside help is totally allowed. So like,
Oh, for
Yeah.
we could
365
still
as well.
recruit Nat for music,
Not
Oh,
not
yeah.
anyone. They could still like
etc.
do art and music and whatnot. It's just a matter of if they'll be able to because they have their own totally different curriculums and whatnot.
Mhm.
Right. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We
I
could ask them. I think we could probably decide that later though. Like at sort of towards the end of the meeting.
I would high-key feel bad asking Nat and Ava for I like Nat for music or like Ava for art or anything like that without like paying them or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, that's a that feels like an if we need a thing. But yeah, they're
Yeah,
also have their own
that's
shit.
why I'm
That-
also kind of apprehensive on that.
We don't really need to talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, 10 people kind of pushing it. I think that's
10,
the answer.
10
to that.
people would definitely be too much.
What about 9?
As
Can you
long as 8 of
imagine?
them are artists.
Oh, good God.
Okay. So on the gooning progresses. The gooning continues.
Mm-hmm.
Next meme.
Oh, you had something you wanted to talk about, right, Shishov?
Shit, did I?
There's something that you were like, hey, I have this point, but I'm gonna save this so we can stay on topic.
Oh, I think I did that a couple times. Yeah. Do we want to move on to that? This is not as much prose, I will say.
I think we've
This is
fairly moved into cons by now, or things that we want
Okay.
changed by
Yeah.
now.
Right here. Let me. Put
Yeah.
Fuck! Did a moth get fucking Christ? It looks cool though. Cool looking moths. Okay. All right. Um. God, which one was it? I think there's 2 main points I had. I can't remember how they related to what we were talking before, or at least at what points they came up. So I'll just kind of like start off with like at least how I had them in my head. I think when we get to 365, I'm imagining this was a default uh in y'all's heads. At least I'm hoping. But we really need team leads, man.
Yeah.
I'm
I-
hoping this was a default idea, and the reason we didn't do that is just because we didn't want to take it that seriously this summer. Because I think with team leads, first of all, that would have been made organization uh much better. Because what I was saying when we were talking about the whole like organizational aspect, and it's like, oh, someone could be taking notes. Typically, that's either the lead designer or the producer or both. That's who would usually be like taking notes, you know, and like handling organization of documents and whatnot. And I feel like that helps with the like just organization immensely already. It's also, I think, beneficial to each team in general or maintaining like a clear like direction, if that makes sense. I think that honestly would have helped with what I was saying earlier. At least again, this is just my personal thing. Feel free to add or debate. I think it would have helped with the whole thing of like not really understanding what direction we were trying to go with the gameplay. Because like I think it's just that I mean I think it's safe to say we three kind of have different like ideas and types of gameplays that we typically like make or like want to go for. Um, and so having one kind of team lead that kind of takes what everyone's ideas are and is kind of like, or not even before that, it just has like they just know from the ideation phase like what sort of direction this game needs to go in, and what kind of gameplay we're trying to have. Um, and they make sure it's going in that direction and that everything is servicing that main goal. I think that would have helped in creating more cohesive gameplay. I think that's something that kind of was to our detriment in this regard. I can't speak too much on like other teams for this. Again, art. I mean, sound was one person. Art was kind of like on their own. So I don't know if there was a sort of like that sort of thing going on there. But I think having team leads, first of all, helps in making decisions. Um, and like making decisions, pitching ideas. I think when there's no team lead, at least this is how I feel. When there's no like no one at the helm like that, pitching ideas even gets like a little harder for some people. From what I've noticed, both like here and 255. Um, because no one wants to like people don't want to like pitch. They get more nervous about trying to like pitch an idea that contradicts someone else's idea and whatnot, or they get slightly more nervous about kind of putting their opinions out on like someone else's idea. It's kind of much it facilitates that kind of communication and collaboration a bit more easily when there's someone leading each like sub team to kind of have the final say on things like that. Again, that's not to say like no one else should have input. But for those kinds of things, it would be really, really helpful. I think an example I can think of this would be when we were talking about the whole like trying to do the what was it? The like seamless level transitions, and we were thinking of like a few different methods to do that, and that ended up being I think like an hour of back and forth discussion. I think with like someone kind of being like say I don't know like programming lead or design lead or both, I think that would have went a lot quicker. I think like someone could have made that decision, and also a producer being there who's keeping track of overall where the game is, how much like progress we've made, what our milestones are, um and like are we on track, are we off track, can we afford spending time on this thing versus that thing. um like having all of these in place, just I think it just makes the organization much better, it makes decision making much better, it makes ideation better. And I think that kind of harmed this project here and there a little bit. Not too much. I think it could have been worse. I've definitely seen it be worse than this. Fortunately, I think we still, maintained good communication as good as we could. But having team leads definitely would have helped. So I'm hoping that we take that more seriously in 365.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you guys like say your thoughts on that. Again, this was just my personal opinion based on my experience.
I think
I-
team leads become more important the more people you have, of course.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
I was gonna
So it's
say
hard
like
to say like we need a team lead if the team is two people, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's fine. When it's two people, it's fine.
I was gonna like I agree. I think honestly I agree with like everything you said, but I had like when you initially brought up team leads before you like defended or like explained um why that'd be
Yeah.
good for this. I was I thought might be weird to have like a leads for like a even like a like an 8-person team. Like if there's 4 departments, you have 4 leads and then 4 people. Like each of those leads is leading like one person. I think that's partially because my uh, partially because my idea of like what a lead's job is not partially. It's like great. It's greatly informed by SIGGD, and how the
Mhm.
leads work there, and they have a different role just because there's so many more people there. I
Yeah,
think
of course.
I'm I'm kind of rambling right now because I'm trying to figure out what I'm thinking to add to this. Um, I think I think having oh maybe leads might be a fine word. It might paint the I guess people responsible for certain aspects of the game. I guess it's basically the same thing, but just like
Mhm.
I think having a designer, like we had, like basically, like two dedicated designers and well, like three designers for this. I think having like not necessarily designing, but someone who is really focused on making sure the gameplay vision is there, making someone really focused on making sure all the level design is like coherent.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
just like putting
I mean,
people on different like that sounds like kind of what you were saying anyways. I just wanted to I don't know.
I mean that I'd say that is basically like what a lead does. They're basically just there to again help with like decision making and help with kind of yeah, just maintaining the vision, the direction um like you said making sure like level design is coherent. They also like, if any like communication needs to be handled with like a sub team, like let's say you have like 5 programmers and they gotta like set up that they're struggling or whatnot. There's like a ton of work to do. If they need to set up the meeting, it's usually going to be like the sort of team lead. And again, you can like make it a different word if team lead makes it sound too like bossy or whatnot. I'm just using the word that like we used in 255. I apologize if that does come off as bossy or anything. That's not my intention. But typically, like to set up meetings or like distribute tasks, it's typically going to be them. Obviously, taking in account like all the other team member situations, like not just being like, "Hey, you do this. Hey, you do this." Like be a good like responsible team lead. Be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, like,
Yeah.
would you be good doing this? Would you be good doing this? Is it okay if we like divide up tasks like this? What's
I
everyone's
feel like
input?"
I
But
feel
it's
like that
basically
would have.
just so that, like, it's not just the producer handling all those questions, um, because that's just unless it's a team of, like, maybe 4 or 5 people, that just gets, too hard to manage, I'd say.
I actually didn't know that you guys had leads for 255.
Oh, we very much did, and we were in need of it.
Okay.
This is kinda why I'm, like, so I don't wanna say, like, adamant on this or, like, pushing hard, but why I feel like it's so important is because like both my team and also just like talking to others in my class and hearing about like other teams, it just seems like there's certain situations absolutely where a team just gels super well together and they just work very nicely together and like somehow they just get shit done even without like leads or like a set producer and like too much like rigid organizational structure. Rigid's not the word, but I think you could kinda get what I mean there. Um, but I've heard so much about, like, without team leads, just shit kinda not going well and just kinda crumbling, and it was sort of happening with ours in, like, the first 2 months as well when we didn't really set that kind of structure up properly. Um, and it was just communication wasn't going well, planning wasn't going well. Yeah, I feel like leads are just kind of a must-have. You don't need to have them be like super like being a team lead doesn't mean like you're like a mean school principal. Like you don't have to have them be like super bossy or anything. But it's a good role, a good position to have. I'd say
Hmm.
to handle those kinds of situations when they arise.
I
Yeah.
think. Okay. I guess that's
But yes, I
sorry.
do agree. Sorry. I just to close off, I do agree that the size of the team, although we have 6 people already, so I'd say that's depending on what how many people per role. I'd say that's already kind of reaching the point where you might need leads at least for some role. Um, but yeah, it definitely depends on the size of the team and also how many like people per role. I agree that if it's just like 2 people, no, you don't need like a team lead there. They're both gonna, collaborate and talk it out whatever they need to.
Okay.
Okay, sorry,
I
my
think
essay's over.
no. I think this. Yeah, that's good. I think one of the reasons why I was like kind of I don't know if thrown off is the word.
Mm,
Our 255 group didn't have the second one I was in. Didn't I don't remember. I don't think there was ever like a clear like lead for programming or like art or anything. We just had a really good producer, which I guess is why that worked. But
I see. Yeah, that's
um,
great.
my only my only again like my only like experience with leads on like a group project like this has been with 6GD. So that those not like looking the same is kind of what threw me off. But yeah, I think that makes sense.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Again, I feel like it can go well, and if it goes like if it's just going well and everyone just seems to be kind of speaking the same language, is on the same wavelength, I feel like you like the lead's role kind of like dissipates. But if there is ever a conflict, the lead is sort of like, they kind of like come back into that sort of role. It's basically at best, it's a safety net. At worst, it's a good like organizational structure. That's basically like in terms of the range of like how useful it is and how much do we need it. Like I'd say that's how I'd put it.
I think it would have worked well for this project because there was a lot of times where people like just didn't really care what they worked on and stuff like that. So I feel like having somebody who could go like, okay, you just work on this and you just work on this would have been helpful in some aspects.
Yeah.
But that also might just be me.
No, I agree with that.
I think I still sort of felt it most with like the gameplay aspect. I was just kind of realizing like it's level 2. We're sort of out of like the prototypey phase now. Like we're getting the gameplay a bit more polished, and I'm playing it and it's still not vibing with me. I still don't get the flow that we're going for. I'm not feeling it. And so I think having some sort of position there to make sure that the game was going in like a certain, or the gameplay was like going in a certain direction, going for like a certain experience, I think that would have been nice because I think at some point we might have like it maybe lost it a little like individually. Like we might have maybe lost the cohesion a bit.
I think gameplay pillars would also help for that. I don't remember
Yeah.
sticking to any too rigidly, is
No, exactly. That
which is
that's
a
what I
problem in
mean.
hindsight.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say like we kind of started losing the cohesion a bit, which a design lead would help with.
Mm.
That's what they're there for. But yeah, that was kind of my first point. I think that would help greatly, and a producer for sure.
And a producer. I
Yeah,
think organization was one of my main things that I had issues with for this.
Yeah,
Like, because I know that y'all had like documentation going, but like
No.
I don't think there was very much documentation for art, and we didn't have like I don't feel like we really updated the master game doc, and I'm not gonna say very much more because like I think we already pretty thoroughly went over this, but like it I like I feel like that have I feel like if we'd had a little bit better organization, it would have been a little bit better as well. But I also understand it was a summer thing. We didn't really
Yeah.
need it to be like
That's sorry, go you go ahead. That's my bad.
I was just gonna say we didn't need it to be like wholly professionally organized, but it would have been nice.
Yeah, that's also why I'm not saying like God, this project was a disaster because we didn't have leads. Like it's fine. I get it. It was just meant to be like over the summer, we just work on a game together with our friends, see what we can do. So it's fine. Um, I definitely think in 365 now that it's a class that should probably be taken more seriously.
Yeah.
There, there was like like a worry in the back of my head that like there's a lot with the project that is like, oh, this was a like a fun project in the summer, so like people weren't taking it too seriously, and that's why this thing failed. There's part of me that's worried that like we go to the school year and then it doesn't like some of those things just don't change. Nothing in specific, but like it's just a lot of stuff is because of that. And I'm not even saying that's like incorrect. I'm just
I do
Yeah,
also
no,
it
I
think
get
that's
seems
that.
fair.
I feel like in the school year it's going to be different. I think people will take it more seriously because it's for an actual class now. It's for an actual project. If not for the grade, they'll do it because, it's a class. You took the class, you want to do this. And also like that's also what everyone else is in the class is doing. You don't want to be like you don't want to end up with like a stupid looking game.
Mhm. I think
Yeah.
the other reason is that like this is going to be the second best thing you have on your portfolio probably if you
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
if you aren't like if you aren't doing
Unless you really fuck up your
SIGGD
capstone.
oh yeah.
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 That's a thing that I'm like mildly concerned about as well. Like I also know that like working on a project with friends can be really stressful, which is why I've been like kind of still even now considering like seeing if I could find a different group for like
Mhm.
365, but like I don't know.
I
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm 50-50 on that anymore. I'd say just know it just with like the knowledge of how this project went now, I'm more like 60-40 on that. 60 being the more confident side that we can work together.
I think being in person is a big motivator for me,
Yeah,
just
I'd
because, like,
agree with
especially
that.
since we're rooming together, so you guys can like just get up behind me. Hey Henry, you should do this. Hey Henry, you should do this. You
If I'm
know.
in the room.
don't worry,
Well,
Henry, I'll do
Justin and
that.
Max are there, right?
Yeah, no, I feel like being in person, being on campus, it being a class, you get into a much more serious mindset. I think everyone not taking it like as seriously this summer is because of A, it's not that serious yet, and B, people who are not taking the class are also here. So that kind of paints it more as a this is just for fun kind of thing. I think honestly, if we restricted it to just people who are in 365, I think we might have even taken it a bit more seriously. Um, but yeah, I think the whole like summer thing it did just kind of paint it as like, oh, this is just a fun little project that we're doing with friends. I think that's very much going to change when we actually get on campus. I think people are
I would
going to.
definitely like it to change. We'll see how much it does for myself anyway.
If they don't, it's okay. Whoever producer is will just crack the whip.
Please.
That's what they're there for. This is why we need team leads.
I need to
Yep.
be cracked.
Literally, like a good amount of the project, my my stepdad technically was trying to convince me to be a producer for this. And I was like, no, it's summer. We don't need a producer.
Yeah, I was just kind of quietly thinking it to myself, but I think if this was the only project I was working on in summer, I low key might have pulled the 255 again. But I can't juggle being producer for this and also a different project at the same time. But yeah, I think people will take that more seriously on campus. And if we don't, we will have producers now. So it won't be a situation where it's like 2 weeks and someone says, "Yeah, I haven't had time to touch the project," and people just go, "Okay." If it's been 2 weeks and someone says, "Yeah, I haven't had time to work on the project," they're gonna go, "Bro, work on it now," or someone else is just getting your work. Just
Lock in.
work on it now or get the fuck out.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think that'll be fine.
Yeah. I think the other reason to not that I've like thought of is just like networking. Because I mean,
Yeah.
this is less of a problem for
I
me and more a problem for you guys. Because I'm also going to have another. I'm going to be on another team for 411, so I'm going to be working with new people regardless. But
Yep.
I think working with the same people, working with people you know does limit you to only talking to the people you already know.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
That's the
something to
reason
consider.
That's the reason I'm 60/40 and not 70/30. Yeah,
That
I
was
the
yeah.
I've thought about that as well. The only other thought I've had about that is like if other people are also like us already kind of grouping together and planning out their groups, but like that shouldn't necessarily stop
It
you.
didn't feel that way
I
last
also
year, but
okay. Yeah,
it could be
that's kind of
different.
stuff that's gonna be day of, honestly, or like at least to until we get closer, like to the day of classes starting. I don't think like that's something I'm gonna be able to like decide immediately right now. Because right now it's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind working with you guys, but I also wouldn't mind. I guess I'm just saying I'm neutral at that point. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably about where everyone is though.
Honestly, I think I'm partially terrified of getting a bad group because I've only had good ones so far.
I'm terrified of getting a bad group because last time went very poorly. Which
I'm
I think
also
we're just
more on Henry's side here. I keep hearing horror stories, but I've only had good groups. I don't trust it anymore. My luck's gonna run out at some point.
In the interest of keeping
no good.
in the interest of
Yeah,
keeping this because this is like I'm recording this
keeping
for
this on
Austin.
topic. Yeah.
Keeping this recording concise
oh
for him.
god, your file size.
Oh
How
yeah,
are we?
so
What's the recording?
Oh,
It's
he's
like an
recording at
hour.
4K. He's recording at 4K resolution.
It's been an hour that we've been recording for. He has 2 times speed. It'll be fine.
Austin's definitely listening to this on like 5 times speed.
So
yeah.
Worst case, we could
what
crop
other
tangents.
anything else that we want to talk about? Any
I
other
do,
thoughts?
but does anyone else? Because I don't just want to be the only one given essays here. I feel
I mean,
bad.
like, I think the main things for me were things that we mostly talked about,
Okay.
like the production organization was like my main thing.
See, Henry, is there anything like you want to talk about? I don't know if you've had like a talking point or like a thought.
I mean, not really.
Okay. I guess I can go on then. This isn't like that huge either. But this is more so I feel like we went around kind of like initially ideating the game in not the best way. I feel like it's safe to say now, like looking at the game and having like actually worked on it for like 2-ish months, I think we can hopefully agree that this is like a super high scope game
Mhm.
in a lot of
Yeah.
different like in a lot of different aspects. It's high scope in the art, it's high scope on like sound and music in that regard. It's high scope on like even like gameplay design and level design. Like it's a super like high scope game. And this is obviously going to change in 365 because we have more time than like 2.5 months, you know. Um so this is I'm not saying like we got to think smaller than this specifically for 365. But what I am saying is the way we ideated the game was basically we put out a poll with all our ideas, and the one that got the most votes, that's what we went off of, and then from there we just kind of had like we had an ideation session, and I think we should have looked at our the two sub points here. First of all, I think in that ideation session, I think we should have looked at our team and looked at the reason why everyone wanted to work on this game. Because our team was like mostly either artists or people who were interested in the game more so on an art side. Like those first few meetings were all talking about the game's look and
I
style
do
and
agree.
yeah, it was all
Mhm.
talking about the game's look and style and the story that we could write from it and the lore and the like deeper running themes and whatnot. Like none of it talking about the gameplay. And I think we should have realized because I think our team is like what 60% artists. It's mostly artists. I don't think that's crazy to say.
Mhm.
It's mostly artists. Three programmers, one of which I think I said this at the start, but I sort of like I kind of moved away from it a bit as time went on. I said that like I didn't want to be like a main programmer. I more so wanted to be a designer, but I just wanted to be there for programming like when shit got out of hand. Which again that changed as time went on, which is fine. But it's like we basically had three-ish programmers, uh 3 or 4 designers, I think, one artist designer who didn't even know if he was going to be able to do things for the project. You know, the yada yada. Everyone else was like artist or sound or story or something. I think we should have looked at our team and designed the game um like more feasibly for what our team could handle because of this and also what the team was interested in because of this. I think instead what we went for was because of, you know, art. We weren't too worried about art because we had so
Hey,
many
that
art.
sounds cool. Hey, that sounds
We
cool.
yeah, we went for a game that's
Hey,
Yeah,
like
that
that
very
sounds
happened a
cool.
lot. That happened a
yeah,
lot.
we went for a
Mhm.
game that's very art heavy, and then also a game that's very gameplay heavy when we only have like a few people actually working on that gameplay. And even the art, I think I agree with Henry here when a lot of the art was just kind of planned and thought out with that sounds cool and concept this and concept that without actually putting anything down on paper for a long time. That more so refers to how long we spent in ideation, though, which I think we can all already agree was way too long. We took way too long to actually start working on the game. But that's sort of a different thing in of itself. But I think in that regard, we didn't design our idea properly in regards to who our team was and why people felt motivated to work on this. I don't think many people were motivated to work on this because of gameplay. I don't think many people were motivated to work on this because of its scale or size. Um, and so I think we should have realized where both motivation and feasibility lied and found a balance between the two. And we should have like designed the idea, you know, accordingly. Um, that it? I think that's basically it. I think the only other like little sub point I wanted to add, and this was more so in how we ended up like picking this idea, was that like a vote, which actually no, the vote thing worked fine. I was gonna say that like the vote might be a little because we had like a lot of artists on our team, like more artists than design. Actually, no, this might be a valid point. I'll just put it out there. Y'all tell me if it's valid or I'm stupid. Um, but I feel like the vote, like with how many artists we had on our team that were voting, um, it was kind of it was. I feel like it was kind of always going to be the idea that had the coolest like art potential or lore potential, like story potential and whatnot, that got chosen. Which again, that like that's fine. That is indicative of who our team is, and that's sort of who we should have gone for. If we or like what we should have gone for with the idea. If we did want to like make a game that's more gameplay focused, though, we probably should have went about that differently. Um, is all I was gonna say. But yeah, I think the first point kind of made it clear. This is more of a. I think that was redundant to add.
I will say, based off of my previous 365 experience, because I'm so knowledgeable in all things 365,
Yes.
of course,
Wise,
Mhm.
Henry.
there was going to be,
Wise.
I would say, there's definitely one game where like they had like 3 quadrillion artists and maybe 2 programmers,
Yeah, yeah.
and like the game looked amazing,
And
but
also played amazing.
I never played it. But
Oh.
it just like the way they described it, I couldn't tell where the game was.
Ah,
It was like
yeah.
a tower defense game, and they're like, you can combine 2 towers to create synergies. And I'm like, okay, but why?
I think I remember. Was this the one that had its trailer accidentally not put on at P3?
Yes, that is the game.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's sad.
I
That's
would
actually
that.
that's
But like
actually
every time they you know had their presentations, their monthly presentations, or however often it was,
Mhm.
it was like, where's your game at, bro?
exactly, yeah. Which again,
Unlimited bacon, but no games. And like that is a valid thing to do.
yeah,
For
you can
sure.
still have games like that. You just have to make it clear what kind of game it is. I feel like if it's a tower defense, that is kind of harder to only sell on the art and all that.
Yeah.
I think
But
what would
yeah,
I think what would help with this, again, pulling from how the game gets chosen for SIGGD, it's not like the starting. I think we started with like finished, not even like I don't know if finished concepts is the right word. They were like complete. The idea itself was made without anyone else's input,
yeah, individual
and
concepts.
whereas like with the way the SIGGD concepts get made, game ideas are like picked, is that there's like a just a massive list of things everyone wants to put in the game or things people want to make are
Mhm.
just written down, and then the leads culminate all those, and then the next meeting they get put up, and then like, okay, these are the things that everyone wants to work on. What are ideas that implement these things? So
I
honestly, I think starting
I agree.
ideation like in a meeting, I
Excuse
think
me.
would just help a lot for that. Like starting the concept, maybe people come in
Mhm.
with what you want to make, like a general idea of stuff that you want to make. Um, maybe some concept of or ideas that you would like to have, and then or like that you might find interesting, and then
Yeah,
from there we can take you can put those with what everyone else wants to make and try and make something that way. I think that would be a better way
I
of
100%
making
agree.
a game that I think that people would want to keep working on for a year and like not lose the game and not lose like the not lose motivation on not lose the like I guess not like lose the gameplay focus as much as well.
Yeah, lose the vision.
Like yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a great way of putting it. Actually, not losing the vision of it in any aspect, or not like in yeah.
I dropped my racist stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I agree with that.
That's a good
That
idea.
reminds me.
Like,
Yeah, that reminds me to of like 255 as well. Sorry, I keep bringing it up. It's literally the only time I've made a game with a group, I think. Um, no, wait, that's not true. But yeah, we also just kind of we did it not the exact way that SIGGD does it. I'm like that's definitely for, the massive amount of people they have. That's what works
Mhm.
best. But it can also be just as simple as like in the first meeting, people go, "All right, so which one, like, what do we feel like making? What ideas do we have? What games do y'all like? What games we want to make?" It could literally start off with just one person throwing out an idea, and then people just add on to it from there. Yeah, I agree. I think ideating in the first meeting rather than having your own idea coming into it is way better. I think that was kind of on all of us.
that's more of what I thought we were going to be doing
hmm
as well.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it as much in the moment, but yeah,
That's
it
that's
makes a
part of
lot
why
of
all of
sense.
the ideas that I gave were so vague, so that like they could like, because I thought the thing that we were going to be doing was like building upon things,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Right. I mean, that's what we did, but like even so, I do agree that just did like no prior like ideas or anything, no voting, it just getting into the meeting with everyone and being like, I what do we want to like what do we want to do? I think
Yeah.
that probably is genuinely like one of the best ways to go about it. I agree with that. We could also do the 6GD type thing as well if we want.
I
That sounds interesting.
I don't think we need to go like as like big as like you said. That's like what they
No.
do that for like the people. We don't need to like do the whole sticky note
Yeah.
thing. We can. I think that we
With
can just
friends.
say, "Hey, what do we want to make?" and then people start talking. Um,
Yep. But yeah, I definitely wanted to.
Online multiplayer.
Henry,
No.
Henry,
Joining
you're the one
a
that made
different
that.
team.
That's your job to code now. That
I'm
you're the
joining a
one doing
different
that.
team. As-
32 v 32 online
We're going with the
multiplayer.
40%. Couples therapy too. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, that's
Um,
not online
Oh
multiplayer.
my God! Wait, we could make couples therapy too, and you know what we add, Henry? You know what we add?
Online multiplayer.
And a grapple hook.
Unchained 2. We're making Unchained 2, but
Couples
online
therapy
multiplayer.
2, Unchained. That's the
oh,
sequel name.
I
Okay.
guess
Anyway,
let's get back on. Yeah. Any other things that people want to talk about?
think I think that's about it. I guess maybe a sub point to like what I already said. This is more so just specific to gameplay design. I think that I mean this is kind of what I already said, just very specific to gameplay design. I think let's take the scope more more seriously. I
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
don't I don't know what world we thought that we could do 3 different versatile mechanics with 9 levels and a boss fight and like a bunch of different enemy types and whatnot. I don't know what world we thought we could do that in like 3 months or 2.5 months.
After
That's
We all
ideating for two
thought we would
weeks.
work on it all
yeah,
the
after
whole time.
ideating for
Yeah.
basically half a month. I,
Yeah, no.
I don't know what the fuck we were thinking in that. I think when going for a game this small, it's best to use the, kind of the standard like design philosophy of like think of one really good core
Keep
mechanic
it simple,
and build
stupid.
the game around that, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's me, I'm stupid.
No, I mean it was all of us. We were all in the design meetings. At least me, Justin. Me, you
I'm still
too.
stupid though.
No, I what? Okay. Um, but yeah, let's on the gameplay design especially, also on the art, but that also depends on like what artists we end up having. Let's just take scope a little more seriously. Let's
Mhm.
actually aim for like a minimum viable product before we actually decide on like how many levels are we gonna have, how much of this are we gonna have. Like before any of that, we should have had a working player controller and like combat system at least. You know?
I agree.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, I think
That's very
that's
fair.
everything I kind of wanted to get across, everything I sort of felt um like during the development of this. Yeah, I think that's it for me, at least.
So I think, yeah, no, overall my main things were like the we definitely will we well not I won't say definitely, but we probably will need bare minimum we need production. We might need team leads. And then um better organization, which kind of just ties into production and team leads.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean better document organization as well. You're right.
Mhm.
That is kind of a separate thing.
Okay. I'll
Okie dokie.
end the recording for us.
Is that this game's obituary?